Okay, so now it's time for eyeshadow palettes. I have quite a few palettes, so I won't be able to fit them in the tiny little space that I am working with here today, but I am just going to bring them in one by one, talk about them, and tell you whether or not I'm going to be keeping them. So we're going to start off with the Naked Basic palettes. I don't reach for these a ton, I'm not going to lie, but they are really, really nice for when you do have kind of a weirder palette that doesn't have these really basic colors, and I am really grateful that I do have these, especially for travel. It's really good for simple looks. If I don't feel like bringing a huge palette, I can just bring these and know that I have a pretty decent look. I think I like the second one more. The first one's really nice, but I think I just prefer the second colors, but definitely love both of them and definitely keeping both of them. Next up, we have the Cinderella quad from the Midnight Hours eyeshadow palette from the Cinderella collection that came out a few years ago from Sephora. I don't use this all that often. I'm going to be honest. This is not something that I use all the time, but it is just so gorgeous, and I love the packaging so much, and Cinderella is my favorite princess of all time, so I am going to keep this. Not for the product inside. The product inside is, but this is just too pretty to throw away, and that's pretty much the main reason I bought it in the first place. Okay, first tough one. This is the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. This is in the old packaging, obviously. It's not in the tin packaging. God, I bought this. It hasn't been that long, but I just don't reach for it, and I just find that I don't love the texture of the shadows. I think I maybe got a dud. I don't know, because they're just not soft. I don't know. They're not what I want them to be. They're not what I look for in an eyeshadow palette. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of this, which kind of hurts my soul, but I just don't use it. So I think it's just going to have to go. Okay, the next thing I grabbed is my Marc Jacobs Lolita palette. No way am I getting rid of this. This is so gorgeous. I got this for Christmas 2 years back, and I just love it so much. I just love these colors. They're very up my alley. This middle one is so sparkly and so pretty on the middle of the eye, and they're just gorgeous shades, and I can't part with that. But speaking of expensive palettes, this is a Chantecaille, I think it's called the Save the Bees palette, and I was gifted this very generously from a friend of mine whose mother sold Chantecaille and had extra and stuff. I never, ever use this. I just cannot. I mean, it's so pretty and everything. I just can't get into it. So I think I'm going to have to pass this on to someone who will appreciate it. Because I just don't. And I think I've just been keeping it around because it is Chantecaille. And I don't know. I need to pass this on. Next up, we have my Wet n Wild palettes. I'm going to be keeping this. This is Blue Had Me at Hello. Just because I don't have a ton of shades like this. And I figure if I ever do want to do a bluey shade, even just a pop of blue, this is a good palette to have on hand. So I will be keeping this. However, I'm going to be getting rid of my Comfort Zone palette, which is surprising because the Comfort Zone palette is way more popular than the other one. I just think I have shades like this in other palettes, and I just don't need to keep this around, honestly. Even though this is a great, great formula, definitely highly recommend this palette. It's just, I have many, many other colors like this, but if you don't, definitely recommend this. Next up, we have my Naked palettes, and I am not parting with these. Nope, never. Not going to part with them. Favorite things ever. I love the Naked. I love the Naked 2, Naked 3, Naked Smoky. You can't go wrong with any of these. It just depends on what kind you're going for, what kind of look you're going for. I'm not going to part with them. I'm just not. Going along with that, I have my Lorac Pro palettes. I love all three of these. This is 1, 2, 3. The third one is my newest one. I got it for my birthday this year. The Pro 1 is really gorgeous. The Pro 2 is really gorgeous. Just so pretty. So no, I'm not going to part with any of these either. The Lorac Pro formula is just beautiful, and I definitely use the first one the most, but all three of them are gorgeous. Next up, we have the Stila Daydream palette. This was one of the first palettes I ever bought from Sephora. I thought it was so pretty, and I mean, I was honestly so excited by this palette, and it was just, I don't know, there was just a lot of memories that go along with this palette. Me started watching YouTube, me getting into makeup, so I think that's why I held on for it for so long. I really never really used it that often. This is Kitten in the middle, but it's just something I didn't reach for, and I don't reach for, and I'm gonna have to part with because it is really difficult to store when you have like a ton of square palettes and then you have like this one circle one. Even though it's really pretty, I just don't use the colors and I just don't reach for it anymore, so I do need to pass it on. Next up, we have my two MAC palettes, which are terribly just reflective. This is one of the, I think this is like the Nordstrom, it's not the Nordstrom Naturals, Nordstrom Favorites. I don't remember what this one's actually called, but I got it this past winter. I do really love it, and I do think if you can get your hands on the Nordstrom matte collections like these, the pre-filled fat palettes, they're a great deal, so definitely grab one up if you can. And then this is my palette. Obviously, it's not completely full. I just buy them when I feel like buying them. It's not something that I'm like, I have to develop a palette. I'm kind of just like, oh, I like that color. I'm going to buy that color. So yeah, but if you want to video me going through these colors, let me know. Next up, I see another Stila palette. This is the Stila In the Moment eyeshadow palette. This has all the purples and stuff like that. And see, the reason I kept that Maybelline quad is because I think I'm getting rid of this one. I just don't use it. And I think I got it for like 10 bucks at Ulta one time, so it was a great deal. I just don't reach for it, and I'm gonna have to pass it on. And I forgot when I was talking about my Lorac Pro palettes that I have the Mega 2, which is gorgeous. I got it for Christmas this past year. Definitely not giving this up. This was a limited edition, and definitely a favorite. And finally, I have my The Balm Nude Tude palette, which I will be passing on. I've kind of made this decision beforehand. I really struggled with whether or not I wanted to get rid of this. I don't use it. The shadows just, I don't love the formula. Oh, those are soft. Okay. It has nothing to do with the formula. I take that back. It has nothing to do with the formula. I just never reach for it. It's very cute. It's very pretty. I don't use it, and I can't seem to force myself to use it, so I am passing it on.